Hey YouTube. So I have a new prop replica that I'm going to talk about today, and um, it's different. It's not one of my normal ones. It's Ghostbusters again, and this is from the Hollywood Collectibles Group. I think I got that name right. This is their limited edition Ghost Trap replica from the original Ghostbusters. And this is the first time I've gotten anything from Hollywood Collectibles Group. I know they've released at least one other Ghostbusters item. They had a life-size Slimer that was pretty cool, but I didn't get that because what do I need a life-size Slimer for? I have enough other random life-size things. So I had been wanting a ghost trap, just to go along with my proton pack, just for display, not for anything to like carry with me to events or anything. I just thought it'd be cool to have out. And there aren't a ton of options. You have the Maddie Collectibles one, which I do actually own. You have the Spirit Halloween one, which is cool, but it requires a lot of modification to get it looking halfway accurate. And then I saw this one, and I actually purchased this through Sideshow Collectibles because I had a ton of their reward points. So I was able to get this for a pretty steeply discounted rate. And spoiler alert, I'm glad I didn't spend the full price. I like it. I think it has some pretty cool stuff, but I definitely don't love it. So first off, one of the things that struck me was, despite it being a prop replica, they use some, I'm going to say, pretty questionable materials. Like the side panels here could have very easily been aluminum. I really feel as though they should have. Same thing with this connector piece here. I feel like this should have been brass. You can literally get this brass piece for $6. Instead, it's like resin, I think. So that really surprised me. I was expecting there to be a lot more metal to it. Even the Novos pack that I got at least had a lot of metal parts. When I first took this out of the box, I noticed that this was an actual switch. So I was like, oh, cool. It has things that I can play with on here because I'm a 5-year-old. So I saw this knob and I immediately turned it. And it broke off because there's like a little peg. There's a little peg and it's just glued in place. I was like, oh, wow, that's disappointing. So the knobs do not work. Don't try to turn them, or else you'll be like me and you'll break them off. Same thing with the ones up front. But randomly, it has a strange, like, spring-loaded plunger feature, which kind of doesn't really even work. So I'm not sure why that was included. I would have preferred, instead of having that, give me some actual metal parts. I do, however, like the foot pedal quite a bit. That really looks the part. I think this piece, this like transistor resistor thing, that looks great. All the details on the back all look really good. So I was super impressed with how that turned out. The only thing I don't love about the pedal is that this piece here is actually just solid. So the foot pedal does not depress in any way, and actually mine is a little warped. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it is, and it's not the end of the world, but it's just kind of one of those weird things to point out. Another thing that I find kind of strange are the lack of decals or dry rub transfers on here. So you have this transfer on the pedal like you're supposed to, but on the trap itself, there should have been a decal here, back here, and on here. For whatever reason, this thing has no stickers or dry rub or anything. And I mean, there are other little ones that should have been on throughout it, but they're just not there. But there's a sort of random aluminum decal up here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there. I'm going to kind of research that further, try and find some images of the screen use prop, but it's just something that stuck out to me. So, yeah, I mean, it looks the part. It looks okay. But overall, I was expecting a little bit more. I do like that molded into it, you have the little screw details. So it has that over the Matty Collectibles version, because that one has them kind of molded in, but they're pretty flat. So, and this one also has more, so it looks like it's been assembled. So that's sort of good. Weird thing that I noticed though is the trap has this plate down here, and on the actual prop, I'm pretty sure it sticks out. So there's like a little ridge and gap here, and they're actually like wires that feed around. Because they had a bunch of different versions of the trap, basically different like stunt versions depending on what they needed it to do. And it should have that little lip. Again, on the Matty Collectibles one, it has the lip, but this one doesn't. And that's minor, but still, for something that is marketed as a prop replica, the fact that it doesn't quite replicate the prop, I just find kind of frustrating. Another sort of weird thing about it is that it doesn't include the hose. So this is the hose from the Matty Collectibles version. So it has like that split loom, similar to the Proton pack, just a lot thinner, a little smaller gauge. And I can get it. I can buy it separately and just make it work that way. But my only concern is that the connector pieces are like resin. So I don't know if maybe those can be replaced in any way, because I mean, it's like a $6 upgrade. So that would definitely be worth it. The trap itself is removable from the housing, and it just has like I think it's like a small magnet just to help keep it in place. But it sits in there pretty well. It's pretty snug. But you wouldn't want to try to put that on your belt or anything, because it would definitely fall out. It does have some weathering paint details, so that looks decent. And the doors do sit above the trap well. So that is something that it has over the Matty Collectibles version, because the doors actually sit pretty low on that. And forgive me, I'm not like a specialist on the Ghost Trap prop. I love Ghostbusters. I always say it's my first love, but I don't know everything about the props. But I do kind of know, based on watching the movie a bunch of times, the Matty Collectibles version that I own. So I have an idea of what it should look like. This one, it comes with a base, which is fine. It's nothing spectacular. It's just sort of like a black board, like a black shelf, with this kind of Ghostbusters themed sticker that goes all the way around. And on the underside, it has the edition information. I think I have number like 103 of, I'm sorry, 108 of 500. So it doesn't come with the plaque or anything, just the board. So, yep, so that's it. If I had to give it kind of an overall numerical grade, maybe like a 5.5, 6. Overall it looks good, but it's just missing too many things, and they really could have done more with the materials. And I would have preferred that, but I did get it for a discount, so that's good. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. And thanks again.